No wallet to hold your cash and cards? No belt to hold up your pants? No problem. Enter the $5,000 Rose Anvil giveaway by signing up for the email list for a chance to win a wallet, camera harness, belt, kilties, and more. Ends April 3rd. 55 winners, 55 prizes, 55 products, and 55 tries.
Designed for one of the greatest basketball players of all time, and literally the most worn shoe by NBA players right now, there's got to be a reason why, and we're going to figure it out. Today, we're taking a look at the Nike Kobe 6 Protro, and we're going to see if it ticks all the boxes on the performance wish list for NBA players. In 2003, Kobe signed with Nike after his original 6-year deal with Adidas and a period of sneaker-free agency. After a few years of wearing Nike Hyperdunks and Huaraches, Kobe got his first Nike signature model in 2005, birthing the most talked about signature shoe lineup arguably of all time. We know that the Black Mamba shifted his product line toward low-top sneakers with the Zoom Kobe 4, which altered the way the average basketball consumer at the time thought about low-cut shoes. Kobe has always been known for his heightened involvement in his product line as compared to other signature athletes, never settling for anything less than exactly what he needed to perform. His retros, or Protros as they're called now, are no exception, being called Protros because of their marginal improvement or update in modern technology when re-released. Kobe would rather the shoes only look like the old models, but be built to spec with the current modern technology and ball player in mind. These shoes are supposedly so good that not only are NBA players wearing them in every game, but there are rumors of these players buying up all of the limited stock of these shoes, especially when the continuation of Kobe's posthumous contract with Nike was up in the air. The brand is of course Nike, the style is the Kobe 6 Protro. They come in at a featherweight 12.5 ounces for a size 10.5. This colorway specifically retailed for $190, but they go for up to $235 to $500 on the resale market, and they're made in Vietnam. Sleek and scaly, the bright crimson upper goes bold with electric green highlights and a snake pattern inspired by Kobe's Black Mamba nickname. It's fitted with a flexible Zoom Air unit and responsive foam, and with a scaled down traction pattern, you're getting a lighter shoe. If you're interested in going full Mamba mentality and need a pair of these, please use the links below. It really does help the channel.
This video is sponsored by And Collar, the shirt right here, which is it's a performance dress shirt for people who are like me and don't like wearing dress shirts, but you want something that's stretchy, something that's comfortable, stain resistant, lightweight, and more importantly, breathable. A cool thing is it's made of recycled materials. Like this says, this shirt is made from 15 plastic single-use water bottles. And you got little diagrams here. 3D stretch, breathable, machine washable, wrinkle-free, recycled material, stain resistant. This is my kind of dress shirt. You know, I don't dress up very often. You go to the symphony from time to time, go support the family in their church endeavors. So I need shirts, and I hate wearing them. And so this kind of shirt is right up my alley. It's exactly what I look for when it comes to dressing up, just comfort. And for me, being a slim guy, they have tall athletic, tall slim, they have youth. They've got every size and different body shape that you can imagine. And they have different styles too, because they have something more like casual like this, where I just wear this in the summer, maybe unbutton it a little bit, show some really sparse 14-year-old chest hair. And they're fairly affordable because their shirts are about $48 compared to most really nice dress shirts are anywhere from $75 to like $115. And they're always expanding their product line. They just came out with a ton of new patterns, and they're always adding more shirts to the lineup. So check them out below and get 20% off with the code ROSE20 at checkout, so you can get yourself a nice setup of shirts for really affordable. They're gonna last you a long time, and they're very maintenance free. So check them out below.
Let's first take a look at this crazy upper. Unfortunately, it is not a real snakeskin leather upper, but let us know if you want Taylor, our cobbler, to make a real snakeskin pair of these for Rose Anvil builds. I think that would be pretty sick. It's a fully synthetic upper, but it's pretty complicated. It's mostly made up of a layered textile, the base layer of which is a plastic skin-like material with fly wire, which is actually a pretty old Nike technology that's supposed to act like a suspension bridge and add more lockdown to the eyelets. It's essentially just cables and stitching there. That layer is then fused to a micro mesh textile. The most interesting thing though is these thick polyurethane snake scales. I believe that they're applied in almost the same manner as polyurethane coatings are added to leathers to give them a different look, essentially like screen printed or extruded onto the material. The added layer of scales actually does function. It makes this really lightweight fabric package far more durable than if it was just the micro mesh and fuse and flywire alone. The base fabric is right around 1.4 millimeters at its thinnest without the scales, but it thickens out to around 2.5 millimeters when the scales are added. The tongue looks pretty familiar. I think it's another one of those Areoprene package materials, just like in the LeBron and the KD16, so should be pretty breathable. So testing it out, you can see that it's a totally synthetic build. When we burn it, each panel is just melting and bubbling. We did run the puncture test and we actually hit 71 pounds. Now, it's the lower half on our list with tons of boots, but it's actually a lot better than a lot of sneakers. And it's really very good for a material this thin and light. On the breathability test, you can see the tongue is actually just as breathable as all the rest that we've tested. The rest of the upper, not so much. I think I'm starting to see the appeal and why NBA players like this so much. We can check durable, lightweight, and breathable off the performance checklist so far. Moving inside, you can see we have this insanely cool molded insole. It's got probably the deepest heel cup of any insole I've ever seen on a stock shoe, and allegedly it's made of a stiffer foam that's designed to mold to your feet, which is one of Kobe's main asks for this model, I guess, since it's literally printed on the graphic for the insole. I guess we can check off custom fit on the wish list. Moving into the midsole, this is supposedly the main area where Nike updated the model to get the Protro name. Up until this point, I think really everything has been identical to the original. Looks like it's a compression molded foam midsole, and supposedly now it's Nike's Cushlon foam as opposed to the original Phylon branded foam. Regardless, it's coming in at right around a 20 Shore. On the ball drop test, it's getting 12 inches. Top third of all of our shoes, so not bad, but it's definitely not Zoom X. Moving on to the bar drop test, we got 8.25 inches. We're tied for number 5 overall, so pretty good. Besides the foam, this one supposedly has one of those flexible turbo zoom units in the forefoot instead, but there's no mention of anything in the heel, which doesn't seem very Protro to me. Moving down from the midsole, finally, you can see we have a carbon fiber plate. It does look pretty small, but maybe it extends down into the heel underneath this rubber here where I can't see. I hope it explains why this shoe is very stiff. So let's check off cushion and stiffness on the list. Moving down to the outsole. It's got both translucent and solid rubber. The durometer is right around 65 Shore, and we ran the puncture test on these and we got 105.5 pounds. That's pretty good considering that even Nike calls out that this rubber is scaled down to make it lighter weight. I think that's all I can tell from the outside. Let's get into these and see if there's anything else we can add to the wish list to explain the popularity with all these NBA players.
We can cut through that.
Kobe. Wow, so let's just get into the disappointment first. There is nothing in the heel but foam. We sort of knew this, but man, I was really wishing that maybe they kept the original heel unit in and then updated the forefoot with the turbo unit. Speaking of which, you can see here, it is the same articulated zoom unit that's used in the LeBron 21. Disappointment aside, the foam midsole does seem pretty nice, while still low to the ground at about 18 millimeters on the heel and 6.5 millimeters underneath the zoom unit. Within the shoe, you can actually really tell how far up that heel cup on the insole goes. Pretty wild to look at. Unfortunately, the carbon fiber plate is only in the midfoot arch as a shank. It feels pretty small at 1.5 millimeters thick and about 2.5 inches long. But at least it's carbon fiber. My guess is that all of the stiffness in the shoe is due to the full rubber coverage that tensions the bottom of the sole, which is coming in right around at 3.5 millimeter on the lugs and 1.5 millimeter on the web. Something that I wasn't expecting is that there's actually no internal heel counter at all, and all of that work is offloaded to this external plastic heel counter, which is actually pretty stiff and pretty thick. So, does the Kobe 6 tick all the boxes on the performance wish list for NBA players? Even just from trying them on and shooting B-roll in them, we can even tell on step in that everything inside these shoes is just tuned precisely to work together. But really, NBA players wear these because they're Kobe's and they perform. To play in a pair of these is a way of honoring one of the greats, and the coveted hype nature of these shoes really follows that. At $190 for a pair, if you're lucky to even get them, I'll leave it up to you in the comments to decide if they're worth it. To me, I was really wishing to see a little bit more Protro innovation, but I guess the performance and popularity speaks for itself on the court. Tell me, have you played in a pair of original Kobe's and a pair of Protros? How did they compare? Why do you think they're so popular? Let me know down below. Thanks again, guys. Peace.